Good morning, everyone. It's October 2nd, 2018. I'm Eric. Conservatives like to tout themselves as being the smartest, most rational people in our country. And occasionally, well, not occasionally, frequently, you hear stupid things come from the mouths of these people. Such is the case with Ann Coulter, Judge Janine. I think that's how you say her name. Check it out. Clip here.
No, it's not my corporate anything. This guy is the hardest working guy who's ever been at White House. He doesn't sleep, but he works day and night. But, you know, I didn't pay off here. You know why? But the Republicans didn't care enough. No, but we knew that. We knew that from Trump's campaign. We knew they were swine. We thought he was perhaps not the world's greatest negotiator, but a negotiator. And we got nothing. Chuck Schumer's flack is tweeting out, we're getting tired of winning. And this business about how he did it to protect, national defense and how important it is. There is no more crucial attack on our national defense than the fact that we don't have a wall. More people are dying, as you were saying in your opening statement, more people are dying every year from heroin and fentanyl overdoses than died each year, than died in the entire course of the Vietnam War. And that is 100% because we do not have a wall at our border.
As you can see by look on that guy's face, I believe his name is Kyle. He believes that the words spewed from this bitch's mouth were pretty stupid. Firstly, Donald Trump is not a the motherfucker sleeps, okay? It's not like he's up round the clock pulling his hair out. How can I make America great again? The notion of this is utterly ridiculous. And you notice how Ann Coulter called the Republicans all a bunch of swine. And she's supposed to be a conservative. But the dumbest thing she said, actually, there are two of them. The dumbest things she said was, number one, not having a wall is causing the opiate crisis, and number two, that the opiate crisis is killing more Americans than in a year than soldiers died in Vietnam, or people died in Vietnam. Okay? That statement is utterly fucking stupid. I'll tell you what causes the opiate crisis. It's a handful of things, like 3 or 4. Number one, trauma. Trauma. And it could be trauma ranging from childhood all the way through your adult life. The thing about pain is your body, your brain deals with emotional pain the very same way it deals with physical pain. So, let's say you've had a very traumatic life. Your parents were the kind of parents that beat you and just did horrible things to you. And let's say you get into a car accident and you break your ankle or something else, and you get prescribed Percocets. Well, the person is going to figure out that, hey, I feel a lot better. The things that constantly flash through my mind, the flashbacks, they don't come. They've been away since I've started taking these pills. And then when they stop taking them, all these emotions, all these traumas, flashbacks, they come rushing back to you. come rushing back to you all at once. And a lot of people find that very, very hard to deal with. So, you know, they go to the doctor and they're very much still in pain, okay? And they tell the doctor this, but the doctor's like, no. Then what will happen is this person, they want to feel normal. They just want to feel like everybody else. You know, they don't want to have these flashbacks. They don't want to have this pain. So what do? They turn to the street. And this could be any law-abiding person who's been through some serious shit. It could be a guy that fought in a war. It could be a person that's been shot by gangbangers. It could be anybody. And they, you know, first they call relatives and say, hey, my ankle still hurts really bad from my car accident. Would you happen to have any painkillers from when you were in the hospital? And they, yeah, come on over and get them. And one thing leads to another. And after so long of taking them, it becomes a habit. And this holds true with anything. Let's say you want to get in better shape. Well, in order to make it a habit, you have to force yourself to do it for a certain amount of time, and then it becomes kind of automatic. You just do it. The same thing can be applied to people taking opiate painkillers, and then when their doctors cut them off because of legislation that forces them to, the people turn to relatives, and then when they exhaust that resource, they go to the street. Where here in South Carolina, there's this shit called Peak, and I've never done it. I don't even know what it looks like or anything. I just know what's in the news, right? Well, there's this stuff called Pink, and it's a synthetic opiate. And so people who are injured, who are traumatized badly, turn to street drugs for relief. Now, it ain't the pharmaceutical industry's fault that some individuals are more traumatized than others. What is their fault, however, is, say, the ingredients in vaccines. So, you know, if a person is traumatized, and let's face it, we live in a very traumatic world. I mean, if you look at the news every night, even your local news, you hear about the killings, you hear about the kidnappings, you hear about this and that, and most of it is all bad news. And how do you deal with it? Some people, they turn to alcohol. Others turn to eating. Some smoke marijuana. Others snort cocaine. That's how people are dealing with it. And you know me, if you've watched my videos for any length of time now, like Beta Talk, you'll know that I'm not an anti-drug kind of person. Do I think it's stupid to even try heroin? Yeah, I think it's really fucking stupid. But at the end of the day, the person injecting the heroin is, for the most part, consenting adults. The person selling the heroin is a consenting adult. That person injecting that heroin into their veins should have every right to destroy themselves, just like the alcoholic does. But Ann Coulter, people like her, they are full of shit. And you shouldn't listen to them. They are poison to your mind. People like Whoopi Goldberg, full of shit. They are poison to your mind. All them bitches on The View, they are full of shit. Just like Ann Coulter, just like Judge Janine, just like all of them. Now, on to the second dumbest thing I've ever heard come from a conservative. The opiate crisis is killing more people than died in the Vietnam War in 1 year. Now that is a blatant lie. Unless 16,000 people died in the Vietnam War, she's lying. Because that's about how many people die every year from overdosing on drugs, opiates. Except the people who died in Vietnam, the native people, they didn't ask for our troops to come there and kill them and murder their children, or they didn't ask, they didn't want it. Whereas the person who's dying from the overdose, they want the product. And they buy it as consenting adults. Those people in Vietnam, they didn't consent to their children being murdered, or their wives, or their fathers, or any of them. They didn't consent to Agent Orange being sprayed all over the fucking country. They didn't consent to that shit. And many, many, many more died in Vietnam than has died over drugs. I mean, why do people listen to these fucking morons? Why? I guess somehow because they look credible means they really are. All these people have skeletons in their closets. All these people have done wrong. All these people on TV are lying. Whether it be Fox News to CNN, they're all a bunch of fucking liars. And they serve their master's agenda, whatever that might be. I hope you all have a good day. Till next time, kill the state, live free.